On today's Hot Sheet, I'm discussing how much buyers need to afford a home today, a revised forecast from Fannie Mae, and Barbara Corcoran's viral video about the housing market. Today is Thursday, October 19th, 2023. I am Byron Lazine, and the Hot Sheet starts now. Welcome to the Hot Sheet. Let me know in the live chat which market you're tuning in live from. I'm in the Connecticut studio today. Tomorrow I'll be back in the Naples studio. If you want to get the most out of our content here at BAM, join BAMX. Use code HOT to get 10% off of BAMX. Today is the lowest price. You will see prices will be changing soon. So make sure you jump into BAMX community where you get our daily downloads from the Hot Sheet each and every day. All of our courses and extra content, as well as our community. Use code HOT to get the lowest price ever going forward here in BAMX. What's not a low price is buying a house right now. A typical American household is $40,000 short on path to home ownership. You can find the piece written by Sarah Lentz over at nowbam.com. Okay, this is based off of a new Redfin report that shows a typical American household $40,000 shy of what they need to earn to afford a median priced home. This means that they don't have, it's not that they don't have the $40,000 savings. It is they need to earn $40,000 more in salary just to afford the median priced home, not the average price, maybe not even the average price for their market, the median price across the country. Okay. Between mortgage rates and home prices that just keep climbing, it's harder than ever for the typical American to afford home ownership. In August of 2023, now keep in mind, August of 2023 set the record for the most unaffordable housing market month of all time, only to be later broken by September. October, by the way, is on pace because if you didn't see it yesterday, teaser, we usually do this at the end of the show, teaser, it's officially official. Mortgage News Daily reported yesterday that we are now at an 8 even on the 30-year fixed rate. So October should finish off, not hoping it will, but looks and appears to finish off as what will be the most unaffordable housing month in the history of months. All the months. Can you imagine that, Haley? Every single month that there ever was, October being the most unaffordable. All right. August 2023 required the typical American household to earn $114,627. It's up 15% or $15,285 from 1 year ago and up 50% from what it was required at the start of the pandemic. It's also the highest required income recorded ever. Obviously, if you're buying, you have a couple buying, the income is pooled together, okay, that can earn up to that $115,000. Typical wage only grew 5% over the same period. So home buyers need to earn $115,000 to afford this median price U.S. home more than ever before. You see that going up. So it's getting harder for someone to go and buy a home as the single source of income for sure. Okay. Affordable means home buyer spends no more than 30% of their income on a monthly mortgage payment. We know that right now that average is shooting up in the high 30s of what's actually been happening here in 2023. Of course, this slide will be available for everybody in the Hot Sheet daily download section on BAMX for everybody that is a BAMX member. Just in August 2020, it was $74,657. In August back in 2012, it was only $51,000. It was actually quite easy to buy a home August 2012 as a single income earner in comparison to what it is today. Okay, it's more than double that number. Housing costs are higher than ever. So not only are the rates hurting us, but these home prices are certainly not going anywhere. And there's no signs that they'll go anywhere tomorrow. And I think that's the big lesson here for buyers to understand, is that it's unfortunate and it's painful where the interest rate is, but the prices don't appear to be moving much. Okay. So Cash buyers have a clear advantage in this market. Renting for somebody who's only going to be living in a location with certainty for the next year to 3 years is a very attractive option, as those have cooled, and I believe in the coming months are even going to start to come down with all of the inventory coming on there. And that's just the reality of the market that we're in. It's why you've heard me say in the hot sheet before, for real estate agents, go wider in your communications, help even more people, because it's going to be about the people that need to move, that have to move, that life is, and there's going to be a lot of these situations out there. Life is saying, I've got to move now. I've got to do a sale now. I've got to relocate now, as opposed to the want or the luxury of possibly exploring. Those buyers are probably not going to do anything, and the advice to them probably should be to wait, depending on personal situation. But, if you're just kind of like, I'm on a 3% and I just want to, because I want to, and there's not a need to move, that's probably a good piece of advice to let that person know, hey, go ahead and, stay in the house. Chen Chow from Redfin Economics Research Department said, in a home buyer's ideal world, rising mortgage rates would push demand and home prices down enough to make up for high interest payments. But that's not what's happening now. It's what's so unique about this market that we're in. Although new listings are ticking up slowly, inventory is still near record lows as homeowners hang on to their low mortgage rates, and that's propping up prices. Absolutely, Chen. Buyers, particularly first timers who are committed to getting into a home now, should think outside the box. Consider a condo, consider a townhouse, which are less expensive than a single family home, and or consider moving to a more affordable part of the country or a more affordable suburb. The chart that we looked at, the table that we looked at yesterday of where investors are buying, there's a reason Indianapolis was leading the list of all markets for investors buying more properties than they're selling. There's affordability left in a place like Indianapolis, Indiana. But by the way, I haven't been there in years. Beautiful city. Okay, that's a really nice part of the country. It just happens to be more affordable than a lot of other areas. So don't sleep on something like that for the buyers that can make a move into. You want to untap listing inventory in your market? Maybe those that are still working remote have the ability to do it, that are going to think about moving to one market to the other. Maybe a piece of content for real estate agents in a market that is super unaffordable. Here are the top 5 affordable markets folks from here are moving to. Folks from here are considering buying in. Or my top 5 markets that people who want to save X amount of their income should sell here and move to. I know everybody wants to keep people in their community, but the reality is, think about how much referrals and brand recognition you would get if you're the person helping people save money, save more of the money that they earn. I think there's a real unique opportunity there for agents. Let's look at the income needed to buy a home in some of these top locations here. Metros where the necessary income increased the most. Miami, $143,000, more than the national number. It's up 33.4%. Newark, New Jersey, need $160,000 to afford Newark. By the way, I wouldn't say the same thing about Newark that I just said about Indianapolis, Indiana. So that seems crazy to me, that if you've ever spent any time in Newark, and I'm not, not saying anything that's not obvious. It's not the most beautiful place in the world. Okay. So 160,000, obviously very close to New York City. So that's the advantage there. But 160,000 is the income necessary to buy in Newark right now. Bridgeport, 183,000. By the way, Redfin always does this. They clump Fairfield, the neighboring town, into this Bridgeport category. And they're probably doing the same thing in Newark. And it makes it not accurate, because you wouldn't need that number in Bridgeport, by the way. That's very high. But when you go just next door to Bridgeport, the actual city, and you include Fairfield, the town of Fairfield, or the town of Westport, which is what they're doing in here because they're calling it a metro. And this is why a local agent's so important, right? Because Redfin, for example, calls the Bridgeport metro, and they include very ritzy Fairfield County high-end towns in that metro because they're surrounding. But Bridgeport, the city, and those other towns are very different from each other. But anyways, Dayton, Ohio metro is 60,000. Okay, that's up 31.2%. But wow, what a bargain there for Dayton, Ohio. Rochester, New York is up 30.7%, but it's only 66,000. Hartford metro in Connecticut is up 30.2%, and that's to 95,000. So still below the national number there, despite the big increase. Necessary income has grown the least in these pandemic hotspots. That would be Austin. It's up 8% to 126,000. Boise, Idaho, up 9% to 127,000. Salt Lake City, 13% tick up to 139. Fort Worth, Texas, 13.2% increase to 98,000 plus. And Lakeland, Florida, up 13.4. That's at 88,000 plus on the necessary income. Of the 50 of the 100 metros in Redfin's analysis, home buyers must now earn 6 figures to purchase a median price home. In all of those metros, buyers must earn at least 50,000 every single one of the 100 metros. Metros with the household incomes required to afford a median price home are all in California. That'd be San Francisco, San Jose, Anaheim, Oakland, San Diego, Los Angeles, and Oxnard, all in California. All of them, by the way, up over 230,000 or more. San Fran and San Jose up into the 400,000s on income needed to just buy the median priced home. The lowest income needed to purchase a home. We start off with Detroit, which is up 19%, but it's at 52,000. You got Akron, Ohio, Dayton, Ohio, which was on the other list with the biggest increase. Cleveland, Ohio, and Little Rock, Arkansas. Shout out to Ray Ellen, Little Rock. There you go, Ray. That'd be something Ray might want to do a video on. Lowest income needed to purchase a home, a median price home. Little Rock, Arkansas, number 5 on the list. If any of these are your markets and you're a real estate agent, I would absolutely go to nowbam.com, grab this article, grab that chart, show the national difference to your market and the attraction of moving to your market, do a green screen video. Again, the article, typical American household is 40,000 short on path to home ownership. It's up on nowbam.com. Fannie Mae just came out with a economic and housing outlook just 2 days ago. Data revisions paint more optimistic economic picture while long interest rates rise. Long-term interest rates, that is, are rising. Of course, we know that. Here's the deal with Fannie Mae and what they're looking at out into the future. The economic outlook has been revised upward for 2023. Real GDP expected to grow by 2.5% on a Q4 basis, up from the previous estimate of 2.2%. However, the outlook for 2024 has also improved, with growth expected to be negative 0.1%, which is up from the previous outlook of negative 0.2%. Okay, so they don't think that the economy is going to grow in 2024, but they're essentially also saying it's just going to be flat, okay? Just down a tick there and not down as much as previously thought. Data revisions, particularly in historical GDP and income accounts, have changed the view of the economy. Consumer incomes are now seen as more in line with spending trends, increasing the chance of a, wait for it, Fannie Mae, thank you very much, a soft landing. So Fannie Mae in the back pocket of Jerome Powell. That's what Jerome wants to hear. Fannie Mae is saying they think there's going to be a soft landing. Jerome wants his pat on the back. I'm not giving it to him because the only thing that could stop Fannie Mae's projections, of course, are these long-term interest rates, which have risen rapidly. And Jerome is doing nothing to help bring them back down. Okay, so they've reached their highest level in years. The 8% 30-year fix yesterday that we hit, it's the highest since 2000. It's official. We got the 8 ball The recent increase in rates is primarily due to a rising term premium, says Fannie Mae, likely influenced by a surge of Treasury debt issuance following a debt ceiling standoff, right? So we've talked about this on past streams, this Treasury debt issuance. We're going to have to issue more Treasury debt to have investors buy it to make it more attractive, okay? And you're also seeing those rates just continue to shoot up on especially the 10-year, which is what we're watching. Just taking a look at a little bit more of this Fannie Mae data here. The savings rate is revised upward, but remains below pre-COVID levels. Also, and I'll put all these slides in there, that shows the recent rise in the 10-year driven by increasing term premium. Also, I thought one that was pretty interesting here is their house price forecast revised upwards as Q3 comes in strong. So you see the previous forecast for home prices, according to Fannie Mae, going into 2024 was at 0%. Now they have it upwards of 5%. Early spring market for 2024, Fannie Mae has home prices going up over 5%, and then tailing off later in the year down to about 3%. So home prices, according to Fannie Mae in 2024, are going to move up. It's an odd market. No inventory, really high rates. The recipe Fannie Mae is predicting means prices will go up. Share of active listings with price drops, Fannie Mae says, continues to climb and is now above the highest level seen in 2022. On Monday, Altos Research didn't support that. They had us at 38% compared to 2022, same week at 42. Fannie Mae is saying on a 4-week average, the percent of active listings with price drops is now above 2022. I'll personally be looking forward to Monday's show when we go through Altos's week over week to see if Altos supports what Fannie Mae is saying now, that the share of active listings with price drops is the highest level seen, now above 2022. Okay, that would be something to get out there to prospective buyers who are looking for a little bit of an opening in this market. Okay, I'm going to wait and reserve taking that position across the board. Might be different in your market, but across the board until I see Altos on Monday. Definitely be subscribed to the channel here so you don't miss any of our hot sheets, including this coming Monday. Also, Fannie Mae reporting that multifamily starts have fallen sharply over the past few months. That's good because we have a huge glut of inventory coming in multifamily here at the end of this quarter and the beginning of next year. We've got enough multifamily starts. We need more single unit affordable starts. Okay, more single family affordable starts would certainly mean that when that happens, that would be the best time to buy. Because it would bring prices down and bring affordability up. October, I just said, was the most unaffordable market ever. So is it a good time to buy? Should you as an agent be telling people now is the time that they should buy? Barbara Corcoran has an opinion on this. Pretty strong opinion, a very viral opinion. Let's see what Barbara says.
I'm sure you've heard that interest rates just hit a 23-year high. And you know what that's doing? It's pushing more buyers onto the sideline, and they're going to wait it out. Let me tell you something. The days of the 2 or 3% interest rates are never going to come again. Forget about that. But they will come down. And you want to stay in the market. And I'm going to tell you why. The minute they drop and come to anything with a 5 in front of it, the whole world's going to jump back in the market. There's going to be no houses around, and prices are going to go up by 10% or even 15%. So don't get out of the market. This is the very best time to buy a house because everybody's scared. Hey.
Okay. All right. Couple things there, Barbara. It's going viral because she's saying it's the best time to buy. There's going to be a lot of people that say, agents, you're always running around saying it's the best time to buy. Like, when do you ever not say it's the best time to buy? Now, in an agent's defense on that, if you look in the last 4 decades, you can draw a line that goes straight up from bottom left to the right side of the chart that home prices over decade-long periods always increase dramatically. So you could always kind of say long-term run, now is the best time to buy. It's hard to time the market, but you do sound a little bit inconsiderate. when you're always saying it's the best time to buy. You don't really appear to care about the pain that people are going through right now. And that's where Barbara's getting a lot of heat. Here's, though, what I'll say. This is an important video it's a short little clip, right? But it's an important video to consume because more of your consumers are going to have a high chance of consuming this than anything else. Barbara Corcoran's a shark. She's obviously very popular, and it's a greater chance that your consumers will see this than any one of your newsletters or anything else that you're putting out. So it's important to maybe even riff off of this and do a video reaction to Barbara's video. What I would say is I agree with Barbara on a couple of things. I agree that when you do see 5% interest rates, you're going to have the floodgates open up. And she's saying prices will go up 10, 15%. I agree that they will go up when you see the floodgates open. Now, another polarizing figure, Grant Cardone, actually believes that, here's just another way to look at this, that when those rates drop to 5%, he believes there's going to be a short window when prices drop. Because everybody's going to come onto the market, which is a sell and buy scenario. So it's a 1-for-1. But he thinks there's going to be so much movement and people moving so fast that there's actually going to be a dip before another rise on prices. Just a unique way to look at that. That certainly could be the case. He had a good reason to back that up there. Barbara also, she said there that people are scared right now. People are definitely scared. People are definitely fearful, and for good reason. They're doing the math. It's really hard. So the advice has got to be catered to the individual. Okay, if you're a cash buyer, could now be this winter be the best time to buy over the next few years? It certainly could be, because you're not being impacted by the 8%. But if you're stretching into 38, 40% of your income to be able to afford that home, now wouldn't be the best time to buy. It might be the best time to sit back and rent. You can't just always say across the board blanket statement that it is the best time to buy. I think that you could go out there and say, cash, if you sold your house today, could you buy the next one cash? Then today, this winter is the best time I'm projecting over the next 24 months to buy a home. You're going to be in a negotiating power position using cash. But if you're using a mortgage, I think we need to have a discussion, right? And I do believe that wholeheartedly, that you might need to have a discussion there. You got to really be able to afford it. You can't put yourself into 2006, 2007 trouble if you're a buyer of real estate right now. And I think that too many people might be stretching the boundary right now in order to just get a home because they've had this 2-year run of not being able to close the deal. So I'd advise everybody to give the market your opinion on that Barbara video, where she says now is the best time, the very best time. She actually wrote in her copy, now is the very best time to buy a house. I would definitely do a reaction to that. I would say that a year and a half ago, when people were like, you're buying in an overheated market, the agents that really educated buyers on buying in 2% and 3% mortgages, that was the best time. Okay. It was 2 years ago. The best time to buy a house was undoubtedly 2.5%, 3%, 3.5% mortgage rates. I do agree with Barbara. Those days may come. They could come back. Okay. Because we've seen it now. So it can happen again. It isn't coming back anytime soon. And so those buyers who are going to wait out on hope of a run like that, it's not happening. It's not happening anytime soon. So I also do agree with that. So the general gist of Barbara's video, I think I agree with. I think it needs to be personalized. I think it's more relevant for cash buyers. Okay. If you can sell your house right now and buy the next one cash, it could be the best time to negotiate, win the deal, win the house that you want in this market. If you're using one of these 8% mortgages, it could just be the best time to rent and save some money. It depends on the personal situation because of this number right here from yesterday. Mortgage News Daily 30-year fixed daily survey, 8%. We see a 10-year that continues to scream. And that's just the situation we're in. We'll see what happens here later today. We'll talk about it all tomorrow on the free format Friday, which I'll be in Naples, Florida, taking your questions, taking some of your live calls. If you want to call and have a chat tomorrow on the hot sheet, make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss the show. I'll be looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to seeing all of you guys on there. Until then, toodaloo.